Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith with Smith in the Black here at CP Group with coming into a new month. So we're going to go through the macro vid, see what we got. SPY still on the quarter, still chewing its way up, and we know most things here are doing that. And if you go to the yearly, you've got the 3-2 still good. So you go to QQQ, still good. It's chewing its way up on the year as we skirt the highs. Go to the quarter. Here, it's a slight 2 to the upside. If we go to the diamonds, same thing, just kind of stuck in here on the quarter, not doing much so far. As you can see, that tight range, but it is slightly trying to go 2 up. And with the year, we know 3-2 like almost everything. Small cappers still 3-2 on the year, and for the quarter, kind of stuck. For the quarter here, 2 and stuck in here. So tried to take the quarter down, comes back up. So 2 quarters inside of this, but it is red on the quarter, so we'll be aware of that. If we go to the transports, and transport's having some issues here. 2 down below this, 254.65. Right, so we want to be aware of that. If you go back to the year, you'll see this. Here, still 3-2 on the year, so not challenged there, but quarterly definitely. If we go to XLU, still stuck, cooking its inside gear like so, and we're just seeing back and forth there as they take a defensive posture every so often. For the quarter, just stuck in here. All these things are just stuck in here, so be aware of that. If we go to XLP, and XLP still trying to chew its way up on the quarter for the year. 3-2 up on the year, like many things. If we go to XLE, XLE still cooking the inside year. And the quarter, red still inside though, hasn't taken that out. OIH here, still stuck inside quarter so far. And the yearly here, still cooking that inside year for OIH. If we go to gold, and gold still cooking the inside year in red. For the quarter, still inside quarter. So be aware of that. If we go to IBB, here slightly trying to go inside quarter to the upside. So the inside quarter to the upside is 165. You're just a little bit above that, so you can be aware of that. SMH. SMH still trying to flirt with the new highs on the quarter and the year, like many things. Here, 2 up. If you go to the home builders, XHB still 3-2 on the year. And quarterly pokes down a little bit, I believe. 69.44. Yeah, pokes down a little bit, so potential 3 on the quarter for the home builders. You can keep an eye on that. If we go to the inside quarters to the upside, you have Apple. Still inside quarter, just to the upside, just exhaustion risk by going into the highs. You have Snappy. Inside quarter, just hit magnitude, so just be aware of that. If we go to Procter & Gamble, just taking out that quarter, and you got a little bit more room for all-time highs. If we go to Kroger, got a little bit more magnitude up into here and maybe over there, but inside quarter to the upside for Kroger. Qualcomm here, inside quarter to the upside. That's over 145.30. You're there. If we go to LC, Lending Club, inside quarter, been a lot higher. So hit that short-term magnitude, but still inside quarter to the upside. If we go to Xilinx with your AMDs, inside quarter to the upside, gives a little bit more magnitude to take out those highs. If we go to TMO, and that hits magnitude by taking out the highs, but it's still quarter up. If you go to Autodesk, and Autodesk taking the inside quarter up, hitting magnitude, I believe, 321.13 to the tick, and slightly takes that out, so he hits magnitude, does its job. If we go to FIVN, FIVN hits magnitude inside quarter to the upside. We go to PerkinElmer, PKI, hits magnitude inside quarter to the upside. If you go to MIC, quarter up and been a lot higher. You got a little bit more magnitude on this here. That's high 41, so you got a little bit more on that. Checkpoint, CHKP. Here, takes the quarter, multiple inside pattern, but you got more room for the high, so we'll see if that continues higher. If we go to Akamai, and Akamai, the 312 quarter above this, 119.30, you're there just right now. If we go to BJ, hits magnitude, quarter up. If you go to Palo Alto, quarter upper, I think this hit magnitude, 403, 405, it's hit it, now backs off, but you're still quarter up. If you go to WB, and WB hits magnitude up in here, but it has been a lot higher. If we go to BILL, and hits magnitude, quarter upper, and Lulu. Quarter upper, time to take up magnitude, takes all these guys out. Go to inside and up on the year, you got CVS, and that's been higher, hits the short-term magnitude by taking this out, but inside year and up. If you go to BCRX, BCRX still hits some short-term magnitude, been higher, but year and upper for BCRX. HDSN. And little guy, been a lot higher, but it is year and up. Hershey's. Year and upper hits the magnitude on the Momo hammer. Watch that with XLP. INMD. Year and upper still blasting. So if you go to SOLY. Also inside year and upper and been higher. Don't want to go too far down the food chain here, but you get DRNA here. Inside Momo hammer and been higher. Inside year and upper. Inside down on the quarter. NCLH, cruise ships. We got some pandemic stuff coming down. You've got the airlines, Delta. Inside quarter to the downside, United Airlines. Inside quarter to the downside, and that's giving you those the signal and transports. LVS, inside quarter to the downside. Spirit Airlines, inside quarter to the downside. Airlines having some issues here. If we go to PCAR, inside quarter to the downside. Go to W, inside quarter to the downside. Wynn Resorts, more pandemics. Inside quarter to the downside. If you go to Fox, inside quarter to the downside, big mother bars in there. CRSR, inside quarters to the downside, big mother bar issues there too. If we go to TripAdvisor, slight inside quarter to the downside. INCY after last month's RevStrat month or downside, inside quarter 312 to the downside in the bio. If you go to PB, bank shares, inside quarter to the downside. HFC refiner, inside quarter to the downside. Go to Wolf, inside quarter to the downside slightly. ARMK, slight inside quarter to the downside. EHTH, healthcare, inside quarter to the downside. LW, inside quarter to the downside. QURE, inside year to the downside. Quarter, hammer up, hammer counter, shooter quarter, NRG. Hard to see, NURO, little guy, hammer upper. If we go to MP, hammer counter, shooter quarter here over 37.29. AEHR, hammer upper and blasting, so there you go. If you go to ALEC, Inside hammer upper hit magnitude and then comes pretty far back. So if you go Powie, also there's hammer 222D2 on the quarter. CGNX. Hammer counter shooter quarter. MPWR. 222 hammer upper on the quarter. Hammer up on the year, Ford Motor Company. Hammer upper, Bank of America, and we know KRE here in the regional banks. They're still RevStrat year, so be aware of that. Cisco. Hammer upper, got some more magnitude on that for the year. WMB. RevStrat year. SYF. RevStrat year up, like a bunch of those banks. HBI, RevStrat year. FITB, so a bunch of those banks. So RevStrat year. RF. AFLAC, hammer year upper. PEG and the Utes. QSR still has magnitude. VLY, RevStrat, Bank. Prudential, RevStrat year. DuPont, hammer upper. HIG. See how the KIE is doing, and there you go, hammer upper for KIE. 3-2 on the year. That's insurances. Yum Brands, hammer upper, hits magnitude. DRI, hammer upper, hits magnitude. PSI and the REITs, hammer counter shooter. You can always watch that with EXR. PNC, so a bunch of banks. Rider Systems, letter R, RevStrat year. RevStrat quarter down, AT&T. And shooter down, CCL on the quarter. We got a lot of pandemics. NWL, Newell, shooter down quarter. ATUS, looks like a 3-2er on there, shooter down. CLVT, shooter down quarter. Cheese Ketchup, KHC, Kraft Heinz, shooter down quarter. HST, shooter down quarter, that's Pandemics, Hotel. MetLife, shooter down quarter. LYB, shooter down quarter. Cigna, shooter down quarter, ex-elite. TAP, Molson, shooter down quarter. Tyson Chickens, shooter down quarter. CHRW Trucker and the Trannies, shooter down quarter. VNO REIT, shooter down quarter. AGIO Biotech, shooter down quarter. Norfolk Southern Transport, shooter down quarter. WWE, shooter down quarter. So in a nutshell, coming into the new month, transports As you can see, we got some themes transports and the pandemic names having some troubles on the quarter. Some tech and stuff like that still taking out the quarterly highs. But as we know, we've got a tight range on the weekly coming in here to start the new month. So we're going to look at that. Either side of last week's highs and lows to start off the month for SPY and all that kind of stuff. All right, that's going to do for today. I'm Rose Smith, Smith in the Black.